This is Dick's Sporting Goods Kickoff Week.
Antebellum welcomes you back to your Friday night ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Russell Athletic as part of Dick's Sporting Goods Kickoff Week. Baylor is up 11 on the 14th ranked Horned Frogs. Joe Tessitore alongside Rod Gilmore. 25 straight regular season winning streak for TCU. Yeah. But, oh, boy, are they in a hole. What do they have to do to get out of it?
You know, it sounds strange to say this, but play some defense. And really, Kendall Wright's been killing them, and that's the problem. Because when you play a man-to-man coverage out there, he kills them. And when you double out there or you play zone, they run inside with Ganaway, and Ganaway's got 105 yards rushing. So right now the key is to find a way to deal with that guy. If they can't do that, they're not going to have much more success in the second half.
Baylor's star receiver, 168 yards receiving, a couple of touchdown scores, and he set up another. Aaron Jones to kick off for Baylor. TCU set to receive. This is Greg McCoy packed up to the goal line. And McCoy goes down to the 25.
You know, Tess, Kendall Wright, star of the first half, did it a number of ways. How about trickeration? He throws a touchdown pass to get things going right off the bat. Comes back, beats Jason Verrett for a man-to-man cover touchdown, and then beats him once again on a little crossing route for a touchdown, and then a big catch, great body control to set up another score. Put a little tippy toe on the sideline to stay in bounds.
Empty backfield for Paul Hall, and now coming around is Tucker. And Tucker tripped up just past the 30. Let's check in with Samantha Steele. Sam?
Yeah, Joe, I got the chance to talk to Art Briles, and I started to say, Coach, you're clicking on all cylinders. He stopped me, and he said, no, we're not. We still need to shore things up on special teams, and we missed our chance there at the end of that second quarter. I said, is there any chance they get complacent? He said, Sam, it was 45-10 last year in his West Texas way, guys.
Fast, fearless, physical was the message he put out. And here they look to be a little more physical against that running game of TCU. And a flag comes down as Trahan came in hard against Wayman James. James got good yardage that time.
Well, I think they got him for a late hit on the sideline.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Number 15. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now remember, Trahan went after Paul Hall in the first half where there wasn't a flag, and this time he comes in.
Yeah, this time clearly out of bounds. The other one against Paul Hall was really touch and go on the sideline. This one he needed to back off. I mean, that was not close.
Not much running room that time for Tucker. And Jean-Baptiste Dixon able to find him near the line of scrimmage.
TCU wants to make the passing attack easy for Paul Hall. Run it inside and then run the play action, take the shots down the field. They don't want him to have to throw it on 3rd and long, 2nd and long.
Such foreign territory for them. You know, first game without Andy Dalton, and they get themselves in a hole like this with the sophomore Paul Hall. Can he manage this situation? Keeps it himself now to the near side, and then was wrapped up that time. And it's just a minimal gain before Sam Hall came in and found him.
Well, now Baylor is thinking, okay, we'll bring in our speed package. We'll go after you. 3rd and long, we figure you're going to throw it. And they'll get after Paul Hall here and probably not open themselves up to man coverage down the field. They don't want to take those chances. They'll probably play some zone behind it, but they will come after TCU in these situations. TCU 0 for 5 on third down.
Line to make is a 35. Pressure. Complete. Boyce. First down. A lot more. TCU moving it well here down to the 20. Boyce was tackled by Casey.
Nice job by Paul Hall. He did not lose his composure. He saw the blitz coming and dropped it to his outlet receiver out there, Boyce. And Boyce just made a guy miss. He just made Casey miss. But that was well done by the young quarterback.
Remember, Boyce had one of those big catches in the Rose Bowl last year to set up TCU's go-ahead score, a 44-yarder against Wisconsin. They could use some of those clutch plays here in this second half. Paul Hall swings it to Logan Brock. Brock gets it down just inside the 15.
You know when they talk about a quarterback managing the game?
Yep.
This is what it looks like. I mean, you got a guy who's not taking wild chances down the field. He had two options on that play. He had a tight end going deep, had a tight end going short. He went short. He took the sure thing. Earlier, we saw him be patient and not rush himself in the blitz. Took his time, found his outlet receiver, didn't try to go deep. He's managing.
You know, the coaches told us that they feel he's ahead of where Andy Dalton was as a redshirt freshman. Option goes nowhere as he kept it, and Terrence Lloyd was able to secure him.
The problem with that is most people don't remember Andy Dalton as a redshirt freshman.
Right.
You remember him last year winning a Rose Bowl.
Exactly. And going on to be a second-round pick of the Cincinnati Bengals. Dalton's first start at TCU also came against Baylor. That was a 27-zip shutout win back in 07.
Well, right now, Paul Hall is caught up in a shootout because his defense has not been able to slow down Baylor.
3rd and 5. Paul Hall, time, catch, first down, inside the 5, Sky Dawson. And there is a flag down at the 17.
Personal foul, shot block, number 32 Austin. 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That'll cost him.
Well, we talked about it earlier. Safety, that's the second call this week. Wayman James, watch him, you'll see Mason coming in, and he goes down on him after Mason was just engaged a little bit by Tucker. Yeah, it's a safety issue. They want you to stand up and block.
What a swing, Rod, considering that the completion would have had them at a 1st and goal, and now the ball is backed up outside the 30. A 3rd down and 20. Paul Hall just looking to dance his way to the middle. And he took a big hit that time by Mike Hicks. So Ross Evans trots on. Just beyond the 30-yard line. So a 41-yard attempt. He missed from 41 earlier. Did make from 44. And this time he misses to the right. Missed from 41 to the left. Now he misses from 41 to the right. Evans 1 for 3 on the night. So they don't get anything out of that drive. The Baylor defense doing their part. Phil Bennett cheers them on. Casey Paul Hall with regrets. Just beyond that scoreboard that reads Baylor 34-23 over TCU is the DirecTV Drive to the National Championship bus. My man TJ drives that bus around, and he's going to be heading up from here in Waco to Arlington to the Cowboys Classic for Oregon and LSU tomorrow night on ABC. Of course, you start your day with game day Game will get things started from Cowboy Stadium at 9 a.m. on the U, and then switch over to ESPN at 10 o'clock. Should be a big day of college football tomorrow.
You know, the fellows from Game Day will have a nice little recap about tonight and their thoughts on TCU and their defense and what this might mean for them for the rest of the season.
By the way, Chip Kelly live on the set at Game Day up there in Lot 3 at Cowboy Stadium tomorrow. Here goes RG3 trying to escape the rush, and he does successfully, getting it out to Terrence Williams for a first down.
When you hear that Griffin is a great athlete, you assume he wants to get out of the pocket. He stays with the play. And he was in no hurry to break the pocket and take off running. He wanted to throw the football.
You watch this version of Robert Griffin III tonight, and you would not describe him as a running quarterback.
No.
He's a matured, fully evolved quarterback who just happens to have world-class speed. A fresh set of downs for the Bears, looking to pull off a big upset, a signature win here in Week 1. High expectations for this team. Going downfield again. Could it be? Oh, my! Lanier Sampson! Unbelievable! RG3 does it again! Third missed extra point of our game tonight. But the story is Robert Griffin III, his 13th straight completion. This one, a 64-yard, perfectly placed touchdown pass to Sampson.
Well, he wants to throw the ball, and there's nothing fancy about what's happening on the outside. The wide receivers for Baylor are simply beating the man coverage from TCU. It doesn't matter if it's a veteran corner, McCoy, number 7, who's been out there for a couple years, or on the other side where they have inexperienced guys. They've been killing those corners in man-to-man coverage. Griffin has had a world-class night.
A year ago, this game was a complete blowout. TCU demolished Baylor. Look at his numbers a year ago. Look at his numbers with still 8:49 to go in the third.
Yeah, the 4 touchdowns, the 281 yards passing, 15 of 18 as a completion percentage tonight. I mean, he's been fantastic. They've had the triple-headed monster going with the receivers and the running backs also jumping in there.
And then Lanier Sampson, probably the fastest receiver on the team. He's got that straight line speed, and he showed it off there. Sky Dawson now on the return, and he slips down there to 13, 14-yard line. The Chick-fil-A kickoff game, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week on ESPN and ESPN3, Saturday at 8 Eastern. Also streaming live on WatchESPN.com. You got number 5, Boise State, number 19, Georgia. Will the Broncos be a BCS buster this year? TCU, of course, they did it a year ago. They won the Rose Bowl. Can Kellen Moore do it now without his star receivers? They're off to the pros.
Well, and keep in mind, announced today, 3 additional players ineligible for the game. Boise State holding them out.
See how dominant Boise and TCU have been in recent years, but they will be tested tomorrow against the Dogs. Wayman James just a gain of 2 that time as he was taken down by Gary Mason Jr. and Ahmad Dixon.
This is a critical drive for TCU. They cannot go 3 and out here.
Rod, we just had a 13-point swing.
Yeah,
they would have been first and goal to 5 if it wasn't for the penalty on the cut block. Instead, RG3 gets it and goes downfield, and we've got a 17-point spread.
And you saw the frustration by Paul Hall after that. And now he's back out there. They need a drive now.
was deflected at the line of scrimmage by Jean-Baptiste. He had a blocked extra point earlier.
Now, Tess, this is where it gets rough. You got a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. A predictable passing situation. We've seen Bennett come after TCU in this situation. If they force TCU off the field, Baylor will get the ball back around midfield. That's not good for TCU. They have to pick up this 3rd down.
Look at how they've struggled tonight. 1 of 7. Incomplete. Hicks could not corral that ball.
Gotta have help. Hicks is a veteran player. That is his 3rd-year receiver who didn't come up with it, and Paul Hall limps off.
Boy, that's not a steady stride. You can see him reaching down for that left calf as Paul Hall comes out and the punt team goes on. Levi Norwood to return the big 280-pound Anson Pelton from the 3 to punt for TCU. Norwood from the 45. And he shakes loose. Look at Levi Norwood crossing midfield and battling for extra yardage. The son of their assistant coach, Brian Norwood. What is a team to do? Casey Paul Hall dealing with the injury on the sideline. Team trailing by 17. Coming off the Rose Bowl glory of a year ago. Let's take a look.
Well, it wasn't because
that leg run.
Yeah, he didn't get hit. It looks like he's just cramping up there, or maybe strained something. But he reacted much more like a cramp than anything. And there is the redshirt freshman backup quarterback, Matt Brown.
Meanwhile, back to business is Kendall Wright. Tank Carter came in and just laid one on him.
TCU needs to stop. They can't win the game here, but they can lose it if they don't stop Baylor here.
Good point. Patterson knows the way Robert Griffin III's been playing. He could push this thing right off the cliff.
And if you're TCU, you are definitely afraid of having single coverage anywhere because you haven't covered them in man-to-man coverage.
Here's Griffin being pulled down by DJ Yendry. Samantha, what do you have for us?
Yeah, you guys saw Casey Paul Hall come off the field. That left leg cramp in his calf. They're working on it right now. It's kind of funny. We talked to them before the game. Coach Patterson said he wasn't that concerned about this because they've been practicing in the heat, unlike Baylor. Well, right after Paul Hall came off the field with the cramp, Josh Boyce ran into the locker room with what looks like the same thing. So it's an issue over here, guys.
They practice in extreme heat. They have an indoor facility, but they're not air conditioned. They got the doors open out there in Fort Worth, and they let the heat come on in. But it is a hot day and a long night here in Waco with a lot of back and forth action. 3rd and 6 for RG3. He's going for it again, and he's got it again. Terrence Williams. What a night for Griffin. Touchdown passes for Robert Griffin III. Baylor all over the Frogs.
ESPN's College Football Primetime, brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. And Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
That is the beautiful campus here in Waco at Baylor. It's quiet now. A couple miles down the road here at Floyd Casey Stadium, they're ready to start celebrating if things can hold up this way. TCU's win streaks, longest in terms of regular season, 25, in terms of road games in the country at 11. All of that greatly threatened now because of RG3, Robert Griffin III, his 5 touchdown passes. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines. Oregon, LSU, number 3, number 4. The Cowboys Classic, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. Saturday at 8 on ABC. Of course, you can get your day started with College Game Day from Lot 3 at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas, bright and early.
Oregon has its highest preseason rank in school history. And LSU, 5th time in 7 seasons they've been ranked in the top 10 coming in. That's a good matchup. We're going to have a great day tomorrow watching all that stuff, getting ready for our game on Sunday.
Jared Lee, of course, now the quarterback for LSU. And then we'll be flying up to Morgantown, West Virginia to see a guy who is used to scoring 47 points in a game as Dana Holgerson takes over that Mountaineers team and looks to get that offense going against Marshall on Sunday.
We see that Casey Paul is back on the field, but let me tell you this from experience. Once you start cramping, it doesn't go away.
It's too late.
It's too late.
Right?
Once it starts,
hydration,
it keeps going.
The stretching. Tucker on the carry, driving ahead. It'll make for a third and about 3 and change. Casey Paul taking over for Andy Dalton. See his numbers on the night. 110 yards and a touchdown. He went up against something special tonight in Robert Griffin III. This Baylor team came in so focused to avenge what happened a year ago when they lost by 35. Here's the pitch to James, and he picks up the yards to make, and he breaks free. Wayman James cuts to the inside. And a big gainer for TCU. Mike Hicks was able to cut him down at the end. The purple-clad faithful holding on to a little bit of hope with a 38-yard run here.
Well, just a little zone play, then a pitch off of it. A good double block to the outside. Open it up and a missed tackle by Lloyd. And James, just with a nice job cutting back out there, almost broke that.
And Terrence Lloyd, who tried to get to James, sitting there down on the field as the train staff for Baylor tends to him. 38-yard gain by Wayman James. Baylor up 47-23. We'll be back in a moment. Joe Tessitore, Rod Gilmore, Samantha Steele here in Waco. ESPN College Football Prime Time presented by Russell Athletic, part of Dick's Sporting Goods kickoff week. Baylor is looking for a signature win, an upset to start off this college football season. Can TCU rally back? Paul comes back the other way to Logan Brock, and Brock has a first down.
I like the way they're managing it, but I'd like to see TCU pick up the pace a little bit. A lot of ground to make up and not a lot of time.
Yeah, they're going to be forced to.
And keep in mind, they've gone 1 for 3 on field goals. I wouldn't even think about kicking anymore. Not tonight.
First down at the 29. Desperate for a quick 7. Pitch to Tucker. And Tucker is met right away. That was Chris McAllister who came in, as did Sam Hall.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting that they panic. but the deliberate pace at which TCU is operating right now is not good enough to get it done. I mean, you want a touchdown out of this, so you got to make sure that happens, but I'd like to see them move it, get the score, and get a stop before the end of the quarter to have something going into the fourth quarter.
You want it to be manageable.
Exactly.
Heading into the fourth. 2nd and 8. Some pressure right up the middle. And Paul Hall just releases it inside the 20 to Jonathan Jones. The pressure came by Bryce Hager.
Yeah, they're trying to protect Paul Hall so much that now you put him in situations where they know they can dial up the blitz. And Hager comes straight through, untouched, with a straight-on shot. And now you've got another predictable situation here. A 3rd and 5. And not a lot of territory behind you, so you ought to feel pretty comfortable bringing pressure again.
Tucker and James in the backfield, 3rd and 5. Threw it behind the intended receiver, but a good job by Josh Boyce to wrestle it, and it'll depend on the spot. Looks like it's very close to that marker as Casey and Boyce wrestled for the ball down on the field.
That ball was almost picked off because, as you pointed out, it was thrown behind Boyce, and Casey almost got in there. But if you pick up this first down here now, which it looks like they have, still, you want to come right back and get the touchdown sooner rather than later.
So first down for the Horned Frogs. Boyce, who was a freshman All-American a year ago. Key player and somebody that Paul Hall can really lean on this year as a playmaker. So the current drive as that clock ticks towards 4 minutes.
They like to throw out of this formation.
Instead, they go with the inside handoff to Andre Dean, who's another one of those Pac-12 transfers, came in from UCLA.
Another one of those guys that left the state of Texas. He's from Katy, Texas, went to Westwood, and then came back after not enjoying his time in sunny California.
You can always come home, Ryan.
So it would seem.
2nd and 6 now. And Tucker leaps up and over, but will be about a yard short of that line to make. As Gary Mason Jr. was able to get to him. Pressure time is a coming for Coach Patterson. And that play clock is winding down, and they're going to have to burn a timeout.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Slow to get up to the line.
I don't get it.
Paul Hall looked up. He saw a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Way too deliberate the last 3-4 minutes. And you see the end result of that. Burning a timeout that they could probably use in the fourth quarter. They burn it because they just aren't moving quickly enough.
Well, Gary Patterson is one of the best coaches over the last 10 years in this sport, and the hotshot coach of a year ago is going to be on College Game Day on the set live tomorrow with the crew. Chip Kelly, as they will get you set for the Cowboys Classic, Oregon and LSU. Urban Meyer's going to have his spotlight on Aaron Murray. But get your day started with ESPN's College Game Day built by the Home Depot, and Tom Rinaldi will have a feature piece on Alabama's Carson Tinker and the tragedy that happened this past spring down in Tuscaloosa. It is the season debut of College Game Day built by the Home Depot. They need a yard. Paul Hall to pass. Out of the backfield is Shivers. Ball came loose and is spotted down. You saw the official throw the beanbag down. It'll be good for the first down. As Chance Casey pounced on that. Watch Shivers trying to work his way in. Only that shoulder got in.
The ball didn't cross the plane.
Inside handoff goes absolutely nowhere that time.
Could you take longer to pick up 7?
By the way, Luke Shivers, the reason they give him to him that spot, 9 touchdowns now in 19 total touches.
I know, but I mean, how many plays have they run down here in Baylor territory?
Exactly, as this clock is now under 40 seconds. Here's Boyce now. They hand it off to their star receiver that time, and Terrence Roy comes colliding in.
You get the impression that TCU fans are tearing their hair out.
Well, you go undefeated, you win a Rose Bowl, you're not in spots like this often.
Well, we talked about the difference with an Andy Dalton. All those years, all that trust. You know, Dalton would have had them in the end zone by now. That's no slight on Paul. It's just the fact that he's not as experienced, and they're taking their time and protecting him, and they get no points out of this drive before the end of the third quarter.
A nation's best 25-game regular season win streak, and they're trailing 47-23. The fourth quarter when we return.